Hey guys, this is Fernando doing another video for Modern Survivalist. In this case, addressing the topic of high capacity magazines. It seems that people, even within the firearms community, don't quite get it. Why is it that you need them? Not just want them, alright, but actually and really need high capacity magazines. Would you need high capacity magazines for hunting? Well, probably not. You're hunting an animal that has no firearm to fight against you, maybe with 4 or 5 rounds, you're okay. You're a hunter, you basically need 4 or 5 rounds. You're not going to be needing a evil high capacity magazine. What about sports? Well, maybe you could find something else to do with your life rather than spend your weekends doing a sport that involves a deadly firearm. So you don't really need a high capacity magazine. You should be perfectly fine with a limit of 4 or 5 rounds. If you cannot properly explain why is it that you need rather than just want high capacity magazines, you shouldn't be surprised when those are taken away from you. So why is it that you really do need high capacity magazines? The reason for that is that they plain and simply exist. They are out there. They're all over the place. Everyone that wants is going to be able to get his hands onto one. And if that right is restricted for the law-abiding citizens, then law-abiding citizens will be the ones that don't have high-capacity magazines when they need them. And criminals will have those high-capacity magazines and are going to be using those against you. If you take into account that in situations of self-defense, you're already talking about a case in which the surprise factor is being turned against you, a case in which you're probably outnumbered. It's maybe going to be 2, even 3 guys against you. And if besides that you have your handgun limited to a 10-round capacity or less, and these guys have 15, 17 rounds each, then you know it is quite worse for you. There's this misconcept even among firearms enthusiasts about gunfights lasting only 3 or 4 seconds and 2 or 3 rounds exchange or 4 rounds average. Statistics and averages and all these things have a way of misrepresenting reality, especially when you see that many involve suicides in which 1 round only is being fired, or murders in which they just shoot someone maybe on the back a single time. On gunfights, it's not that it's not uncommon for 10, 15 or more rounds being fired. It's not uncommon at all. I can think of several incidents. One in particular comes to mind. I was in a gun store talking with a police officer. He told me that they had chased him and 2 other police officers, chased a vehicle with suspects. I think it was 3 of them, so 3 cops versus 3 bad guys. They started shooting at each other. 70 rounds fired. And he said, well, this is pretty much typical of what happens in those cases when it's several attackers and such. It's not uncommon. And another problem is that these dated statistics are mostly of a time in which people use mostly revolvers. You know, some of these are very old. Some of these misconceptions come back from a time when semi-automatic pistols were not as reliable as they are today. So most people, including police officers, used revolvers, which have a typically 6-round capacity. So given today's context, if you are limited to a 10-round capacity, you are going to be clearly in a tactical disadvantage when facing a criminal that's going to be no doubt armed with whatever it is that he wants, because criminals, as you know, do not respect the law at all. So it is not a matter of me wanting, and yes, I just feel like it. I want it because I want to play shooting guns on weekends. Well, if you cannot explain properly why it is that you need something beyond just a mere I just want it, then you know there's a good chance of that right being taken away from you. So know exactly what you're talking about. Know exactly why it is that you need certain things rather than just want them. Because again, it's not about hunting. It's not about sports. These are all things that I've seen recently on TV. When even gun advocates trying to explain their points, they kind of fail to do so properly, in my opinion. It's not about just wanting, it's actually about needing it so as to properly use the weapons for self-defense as they are intended. Guys, that's basically it. There's another one coming up right after this one about assault rifles. And why is it that you also need assault rifles? Back in a second with another video about just that. Remember to subscribe. See you on the next video. Have a great day.